Welcome to Brazil, where the beautiful game is more than just a sport, it's a way of life. From the beaches of Rio to the sandy shores of the Copacabana beach to the historic Maracanã Stadium, everyone in Brazil breathes football. Today I'm rebuilding a team from Serie D with the goal of making the most Joga Bonito side of all time. We want the feeling of playing beautiful to be running through our team in every position from goalkeeper to striker, and thanks to the FIFAMania mod, we have access to over 50 teams in the Brazilian 4th division. So let me introduce you to the one that I've chosen. On February the 3rd, 110 years ago, a group of 11 boys between the age of 14 and 16 founded a football society. They played in the streets near the Santa Cruz Church in Recife, and they named their club after this local landmark, wearing kits that were inspired by Flamengo. 72 years later, and 200 kilometers inland, a footballer called Gianvildo Vieira da Sousa was born. He spent his career in Japan, Portugal, Russia and China, where he won almost every trophy there was to win. Even as a 36-year-old player, he was still in the Brazil national team, and today we've decided to take control of his next step. We are the new manager of Santa Cruz, and Hulk will be our manager. With our beast in the dugout, both physically and in terms of reputation, the entire trajectory of this club was about to change. After agreeing to manage for almost free, we are the leader of a financially ruined, pretty talentless club on the Brazilian East Coast. Football in Brazil, especially on the northeast, which is Brazil's poorest region, is actually generally of a pretty low standard, and it's mainly because of the lack of funds limiting the club's competitiveness compared to richer regions further down in Brazil. But with no money to spend on new signings, any squad overhauls would need to take advantage of this club's academy. In the past, thousands of players have come through the academy to eventually play for Santa Cruz, but none of them have had the same impact that Rivaldo did when he emerged as a 17-year-old striker. It's always good to see that an academy places a strong emphasis on technical skill for some of the younger groups, and with the city's footballing passion, it's not impossible to think that this club could yet produce another Brazilian superstar. Santinho, Hugo Carrera and Breno are Santa Cruz's biggest hopes in the academy. This group of 16-year-olds has actually progressed through the academy together since the age of 7. They might not have the physicality that Hulk was known for, but they are just as skillful and have just as much potential. Skill moves are going to be massive if we are going to implement that Joga Bonito style to get this club out of the gutter, and this front three had bags of skills. We gave them their first senior training sessions, and there was no hesitation in them showing off. In fact, I was so impressed that all three would win a space in the starting 11 for the first game of the season. The Estadio do Arruda was not sold out for our managerial debut, but there's not many clubs that could fill a ground that's this large. It has an official capacity of over 60,000, but there's rumours that nearly 110,000 people can actually pack into this ground. That rumour's true because back in 1994, over 90,000 people bought tickets to see Brazil play Argentina at this stadium. Brazil versus Argentina is always a game of life and death, but this opening match is more of an educational exercise where we need to be more interested in learning about how our young squad likes to play. For the first few weeks of our career, the focus was actually on building the team's sharpness and just trying to get a little bit of form into some of the players' legs, rather than just purely going for results. We used training sessions not just to improve the players, but also to find out which combinations work best. Santinho, Renato and Breno all fit our style perfectly, and by the end of the first month, they'd all gained overall and were developing to be first team regulars. While we weren't going for results at the start of the season, all three of these players were actually all part of the team that went on to score a few impressive wins that did make me think there was a decent chance of promotion in season 1. One of the biggest bright spots of our team was our captain, Ronivaldo, who was also a massive part of the dressing room. He had a similar background to Hulk himself, and Ronivaldo had experience in Korea, Mexico and Brazil, and he was the obvious leader on the pitch. He was also the squad's oldest player, and he didn't have the legs to contribute on counter-attacks, but he was perfect at knitting almost every move together in midfield. We could trust him when we wanted to play out from the back. We knew he'd find attackers' forward runs, and we knew he'd be in the ear of our three youngsters, keeping them focused on the match. He was a crucial part of why we were actually ahead in this match, but late on in the game, he went down totally off the ball. While he did walk off the pitch, I was hoping it was only going to be a slight knock. But actually, Captain Ronivaldo's knock turned out to be a lot worse than anticipated. With him now being 36 years old, the determination needed to overcome a cruciate ligament was just too much for him. The only player in the Santa Cruz squad over the age of 28 decided to retire mid-season, and the leadership vacuum was instantly evident. The title race slowly slipped further and further away from us. There was a series of minor injuries that were slowly sapping away at the squad, and this resulted in us not actually having enough players to fill the bench. It was actually a social media joke suggesting Santa Cruz should put Rivaldo on the bench that gave us an idea. We'd actually only been retired for 9 months, so surely even in our late 30s, Hulk could still contribute in Division 4. It actually didn't take too long for us to find out that he could. He made his return to professional football, and Hulk still had the skill and strength to dominate his fullback, even if we would have to sub him off early in the game due to his awful stamina. The return of Hulk gave us a huge amount of attention. Just south of Recife is the region's main industrial area, where there's shipbuilding, car production, oil refining and chocolate manufacturing, and in the week after Hulk's return, local companies from every one of these industries got in touch wanting to help out the club. We actually got a sponsorship offer of over £3 million, which was bigger than some clubs in the first division received. So Hulk's decision to return to football not only gave us a better player this year, but also gave us a full transfer budget for next season should we get promoted. With Hulk now on the pitch as a player manager, any sign of a slide down the table ended and the rise back a bit started to begin. It seemed like his leadership on the pitch was still better than how he was leading off the pitch, but as we slowly figure out how Brazilian football actually works, I'm sure that'll improve for both us and Hulk. For the last few games, we decided to tighten up the defence, and our attack, featuring Hulk now playing as a false 9, delivered just enough goals to put us in a really good position. In fact, as the season drew to a close, Santa Cruz found themselves in a position they hadn't experienced in real life for years. With both me and Hulk managing this team, both on the pitch and from the sidelines, it was clear there was a sign we had transformed the team in every area. The atmosphere the fans make in Brazil is insane, and we were packing out the Estadio da Arruda week after week, dragging the players onto wins multiple times. While this made some opposition sides turn into tense, mistake-filled wrecks, we weren't competing, we were thriving. With each win, I had more belief that Santa Cruz could get this promotion, and even with the pressure of some annoying board objectives, our Santa Cruz team confirmed promotion with 3 games to spare. As the final whistle blew on the last game of the season, the players celebrated on the pitch, and Santa Cruz had secured their place in Serie C, capping off what was a really good season with plenty of luck, but also tons of growth and plenty of signs that the club had a bright future. If you want to see more of this career mode, let me know by liking this video, but I probably won't make a season 2 unless it gets about 5,000 or 6,000 likes. I'm just not sure there's enough interest in this career mode, but if you think there is, let me know by liking this video.